I am Rick Veenstra. I serve as Regional Executive for the Great Lakes Region and Reformed Church in America. And I've been working on team ministry for a long time. I'd like to talk a little bit about that, but I want to confess that in the first part of my time as a pastor and as a leader in the church, I pretty much ground out my work by myself. There were times that I was leading a staff, but our staff was more in the divide and conquer sort of approach to staff ministry, not really a team. But in the latter half of my journey, I've been more and more sold out to teamwork, to developing teams and team leadership and team ministry. I've read a bunch of books and attended conferences related to team and team development and team ministry. My favorite, the one that has lasted the longest for me in terms of impact, is Patrick Lencioni's best-selling book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. What I want to remind you of, if you know it about, or if you know about it, or let you know for the first time, what the positive corollaries of are the dysfunctions of a team. The first is a team must trust one another. Without trust in a team, it will not be a team. Tremendously important and very difficult, time-consuming to develop the kind of vulnerability, the kind of trust that is required for an actual functioning team. Secondly is conflict. Sounds like a strange word to put in team talk, but in fact, people who trust each other are able to disagree with one another, to not be disagreeable, but to disagree, to go after an idea, to develop some sense of understanding as a team. It's important, because without the conflict, without the open airing of our views in the midst of our trust for each other, we cannot come to an actual commitment. We may gain compliance, but not actual commitment. And that's what is needed for a functioning team. Then, once we trust each other, we are willing to have the conflict, develop the commitment of what it is that we're doing. In our case, in our little team, it's developing leaders to start and strengthen churches. Once we're committed to that, then we are willing to hold each other accountable for the goals, the objectives that we've established. And then pay attention to results, because a team isn't a very effective team if there are no results. So often we get a ways down the road in terms of cooperation and collaboration, but we don't really do the hard work of holding each other accountable and paying attention to results. So this little formulary is helpful to me. I hope it's helpful to you. Teams need to be trusting of one another, able to disagree with each other, come to commitment, hold each other accountable, and pay attention to results. This is what will help us to move toward the fulfillment of the Great Commission, to help us move toward a growing church in the North American church for the sake of the gospel, for reaching people for the sake of the gospel. This will help us. I, for myself, have done it both ways, grinding it out alone and working in the context of a team. I'm not going back to grinding it out alone. I am going to spend the rest of my journey working in the context of a team, because it is far more fruitful, far more productive. Thanks.